For the first time this season, we are Happy Valley bound for an 8-race program coming up at the City Circuit. Welcome along to Racing to Win. We've got a preview for you all right here on the show, and joined in the studio by two more men in grey, Paul Lally and Tom Wood. And Tom, everyone got the memo.
They did. So not quite the grey here yet, but some of us probably aren't too far away from that. But looking forward to what should be a good night coming up at Happy Valley. Some of the races, again, a little bit light on numbers, but there's actually some good quality races amongst them. Plenty of horses with good first-up records.
There is indeed, and we'll hear the boys' thoughts on that throughout the show. What about jackpots, Paul?
Yeah, there's 3 good jackpots there. 18 million going into the triple trio. We've got 4 million going into the 6-up win bonus, and also into the 4th double trio. That should get up to 6 million. So plenty of money floating around there on Wednesday night. Don't forget it's a 5-minute earlier start as well.
Well, on the show on the weekend, we met the first of the new riders, Andrea at Zani. It's time to meet the second of the new boys in town. Nick Child spoke to South African Keagan De Melo.
Keagan De Melo, great to see you here in Hong Kong. And first of all, how have you settled into this new racing environment?
Yeah, settled in quite well, thank you. Been here just under a month, so it's given me a bit of time to get used to the weather and get my family used to it. So all going well so far.
Keagan, you've ridden with plenty of success in your native South Africa. We'll touch upon that very shortly as far as numbers are concerned. Hong Kong, it's always been a bit of a base for a South African. How much were you sort of, spurred on by the fact that South African jockeys have done so well here? Was that some of your motivation to possibly try and get here?
Yes, look, when you're having a good season in South Africa, it always leaves a bit of options open. And when you get the call, you get the guys who've done successfully, and they've pretty much done well here, and it just inspires you a little bit more that you can do better. So this is the world stage at the end of the day, and you want to prove yourself here.
How tough a decision was it to shift from South Africa here to Hong Kong? Obviously, you've said that this is sort of a world stage, but the fact you were going so well, was it a tough decision at all?
In a way it was. You leave a lot of good things behind, but South African racing is on the up a little bit. You got it in good hands, so it was a bit of a tough one, but at the end of the day, it was an easy decision to come to greener pastures and try to do that little bit more to be a success.
Are you the type of guy that sets yourself targets? Obviously, have you come here with a sort of a figure in mind, or is there anything you really want to set out and achieve?
Look, I think I'm not going to be hard on myself just yet. I just want to suss things out a little bit. Obviously, I want to try ride as many winners as I can. Obviously, I don't know what a good mark is yet, as I ride a lot in South Africa, and it's every day of the week. So you pretty much set goals. But look, if I can get between 10 to 20 winners, I think first 6 months, I think it'll be pretty good.
There he is, Keagan De Melo. We're going to talk further about him now, boys, and have a look at his record shortly, but not setting the bar, not making any announcements that he's going to win the premiership. He's being very realistic, isn't he, Tom?
Yeah, he has been, and it's difficult to come here and to try and drum up the support, but as long as you can sort of strike early on in your career here, it always sort of sets your campaign in good fortune. And he's won some good races, Paul, over the last sort of calendar year, likes of the South African Derby, with over 1,200 winners over there.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? And look, he's one of the product of the through that South African Jockey Academy, and we've seen it being so successful here in Hong Kong in the past as well. So we wish him all the best. He's got 3 rides here. Valhalla didn't run too badly on the opening day of the season. And Shinkansen, I thought he improved at his last start.
He's got Diamond Source later on the card for Ricky. So with 3 rides, I thought he gave a couple of his mounts certainly at the weekend a good spin around.
Yep. He did indeed. That is Keagan De Melo. Now, as far as the locals go, Paul, here is what the trainers did at Happy Valley last season. Francis Loy upstaged the King of the Valley by 3.
Yeah, look, there was always hard fought towards the end of the season, wasn't it? So I'm sure Casper will want to get his crown back as the King of the Valley there. But look, we'll see how we go. Jamie Richards did very well for a first season trainer at Happy Valley, didn't he?
Yeah, most of his wins did come at Happy Valley, 24 of them. In fact, you could see how many second placings that Casper had at the Valley, 36, which was probably critical in the end to that number that he was beaten by Francis Loy.
He kicks off with Valhalla in the first race on Wednesday night. Does Casper as he tries to get that crown back. Jamie Harry Richards, those winners from just 163 starters. We're on the A course to kick it off for meeting number 2. And as Paul said, it's an earlier start time with the first race getting underway at 10 minutes past 7 o'clock. The two races that we focus on, races 7 and 8, the Class 3s over the 1,000 and the 1,200 metres. Race number 7. And the Class 3 has Atomic Force first up, who's won first up in the past, and he's had no trials here. California Deeply is a 2-time course and distance winner. Explosive Witness is a 3-time course and distance winner, as is Harmony and Blessed. Maniac has placed first up. Heroic Master has the cheek pieces going on. Amazing Rocky's had 4 starts in a first up condition and placed in every one of them. Super Axiom's likely going to lead the race, and Party Warrior down the bottom comes up with a wide draw. He's a horse that has won all of his races so far over the slightly longer trip of 1,200 metres, and we know what we get here, Tom.
Yep, and it's a fast tempo, a mark over the 1,000 metres. They'll roar down the back, and Super Axiom is one of those that will get out and charge forward and lead and to try and stay on. The other horse that is likely to be there is Harmony and Blessed. He likes to go forward, but probably has to take a sit on this occasion, Paul. And Amazing Rocky, another one that does go forward, but barrier 10's not going to aid his chances.
No, it looks tricky from dozen. I thought McNamara and Heroic Master both get really nice runs just in behind the speed.
We're going to break it down right now, Tom, and we're going to start with a replay of Harmony and Bless leading an Explosive Witness who runs second in this race. We've had to go back to this start to find Explosive Witness because he's had no trials and he has won first up in the past.
It's quite interesting. A lot of Casper's horses that are in on this Wednesday night card haven't had trials leading into their first up assignments, and he's one of them, Explosive Witness. 985 days since he won. I think it was, might have been on New Year's Day down the straight at Charlton a couple of seasons ago. I think he can run a big race again here, Paul. He ran a huge race there.
I didn't mind the run of Humble Star there. I thought he hit the line strongly. His best run was in Hong Kong, was his debut run here, and so he's coming into this in a fresh state as well.
Here he is again too, Paul, Humble Star. He's in this trial with Harmony and Blessed, who we know does operate well fresh too.
Yeah, he does. The thing with Harmony and Blessed, the big problem with him is Super Axiom in the race, because he's not going to get his own way in front, and he does like to do that. See, the hit, Harmony and Blessed, nice trial from him. So, look, I'm going to include Harmony and Blessed in on a minor line.
He's kicking this season off early. Now, last season he didn't kick off until about January, and he ran third fresh up in his first outing. He seems to have trialled well. He is up 20 pounds in body weight, so we'll see how that fares for him on Wednesday night.
Let's have a look at some Chungfar trials now. Tom, we're going to start with California Deeply, who goes straight to the lead in this trial. Heroic Master runs second. Their first up record, California Deeply, none from 1. Heroic Master has placed first up, and the horse that is currently second, we'll get back to third, is the Golden Scenery. Yeah,
and he won, of course, the other night at Charlton. California Deeply, we have caught him in the past. It has been second up. Didn't travel it well at all, I thought, last time out down the straight at Charlton. Probably did his best work late there, but seemed to be going okay in this trial, Paul.
Yeah, good. I like Heroic Master's trial here as well. Zach Purton aboard from barrier 1. I think he's going to get the best run in the race. I think he's capable of winning this.
He's about a 1,000-metre horse too.
Yeah, well, his win in Hong Kong has been over that 1,000 metres.
Had the cheek pieces on in that trial too.
Yeah. He did too, and we'll sport them in this race on a Wednesday night. What about Maniac here, Tom? He's leading up in this trial. He went straight to the lead. Brenton Avdulla looking for his second win of the season, coming back in trip to the 1,000 for the first time.
Yeah, so that's interesting there. They tried to go forward with him last time out, but he got caught wide and wasn't able to go on. It was deemed unacceptable. Seemed to be moving pretty well in this barrier trial. He won it well enough. So 1,000 metres, wasn't really totally convinced, but just with the run he's going to get, Paul, I think he's probably got to go in.
Yeah, look, off the map, he's drawn barrier 3. There's going to be a lot of speed in this race, as we know. So he's just going to get one of the best runs in the race. So he's going to get his opportunity.
You mentioned speed in the race. We're going to show the trial of Super Axiom. It's down the straight at Charlton. Can you see a scenario where he might be able to see it out?
Not in this race with all his pace, because he'll get pressure from Harmony and Blessed, and if he doesn't give him pressure, then Amazing Rocky will give him pressure. So that's the worry I had for him.
Yeah, well, they'll be looking to try and get in somewhere with Amazing Rocky, whether it's up outside the leader or just behind if they can't get up there with all that pace in the contest. He's 24 pounds lighter than he was when he last lined up behind Dream Winner. Not too much pressure put on him in this trial here behind Carroll Street down the straight, but it's going to be tough, even though he's got 112 on his back. Yeah, that's good to see that £7 claim for Angus Chung. That's a look at the runners in this 1,000 metre Class 3 event. Paul, who are you with?
I'm with Heroic Master in this race. I think he's going to get a really good run just in behind. He does go well fresh, this horse, and really liked his trial. That 800 metre trial I thought was very good. California Deeply sort of lost his way towards the back end of last season, but he comes out of that same trial. He's run second of a 79 69 rating. He's on that rating now, and he's drawn well in 4. Magnet, well, I think will get the best run in the race, and Humble Star in a fresh state. So 6, 2, 5 and 8 in the end for me.
Explosive Witness I've gone with here. Undoubtedly he is going to get the speed to suit in this race. He's well rated. He last one off at 92 and he's off a rating here of 79, dropping a point after running second behind Seasons with at the end meeting. So he's on top ahead of Heroic Master. Magniac goes in, and the other one I'm throwing in is Harmony and Bless, but we'll need a bit of luck from barrier number 9. 3, 6, 5 and 4.
And that is the preview for race number 7 at the Valley. We're going to take a break here on Racing to Win. Back to check out race number 8 right after this. Welcome back to Racing to Win, the preview for Happy Valley. We're up to race number 8, but before we look at the 8th, the new segment part 2 is up, Paul. It's our last run reminder, and you're going to have to remind us about this one, because we're going back to last season for Durham Star.
Yeah, look, the thing with this, I like about this is that he got well back, Durham Star, in this race, and they absolutely crawled. They just walked in this race, and it was, you can see how far back he got, and he had to make up so much ground, and I think it was 2.1 seconds slower than standard in this race. There it is, right up there on screen for you as we speak. So he's at the back, so he had to make up that ground. And you can see how slow they're going. And they come into the straight there. He did stick to the rail, so a good ride here. But I just really like the way he sort of really hit the line here in the last 100 metres against the trend. Because, look, all these horses was just a massive sprint for home. And Yearboy did manage to hang on. But look at the way he just finished off strongly there. I thought it was a really good run. Now, he has won fresh up in the past, this horse. And he has won off this rating, off that particular one as well. He's in race 2. He's early on the card, so you can fill your boots early.
He's trialled and run 5th, and he's placed his last 2 over the 1,650 metres. That is the last run reminder for Durham Star in the 2nd. But on to race number 8 we go now. The final race on the program gets underway at 10 minutes to 11 local time. And Reward Smiles, a last start winner, carries an extra £3 for it. Superb Capitalist is unbeaten first up. Exponential has a 1st and a 2nd from 4 first up appearances. Excellent Peers. Matthew Chadwick rides for Frankie Law. Armour Eagles, a 2-time course and distance winner. Brilliant Way has had a stable change now with Pierre Rong. Hood is off. Shadow Roll goes on. Sugar's won first up in the past. Lucky Gold, he was on a 4-day backup where he ran 4th over the 1,000 at the Valley and then 4th over the 1,400 metres at Sha Tin. And Mark Newnham has his first runner in Hong Kong, Tom, with number 10, One for All, joining the stable. Lyle Hewitson takes the ride.
And he should get a good run right behind them, I think, in the speed map here, One for All. He's one of 6 first-up winners in this race. Packing Bowl is another one who had to do a bit of work from his wide draw last time out and wasn't able to go on. He has led up and run 2nd at a barrier trial. The other speed merchant in the race, Paul, is Exponential, and also to a lesser extent, Exponential, who's in barrier 9.
Yeah, look, I can sort of see Superb Capitalist going on with it and trying to get to the lead. And if he does, there is that option that Exponential can get across. Superb Capitalist has got the apprentice allowance. So it just depends whether they want to do a Packing Bowl with a light weight on the inside. But you're right, Mark Newnham's first runner here in Hong Kong, One for All, should get a nice run.
This is what Mark has done before arriving in the territory, Paul, with his stats from Australia reading of 403 from 23.48.
Yeah, very good record in Australia. He's had some good connections up here in Hong Kong, and this is his first runner, which is One for All. And I think he's got a really good chance. I think the only thing is he might come a bit short. There might be a bit of hype around him being Mark Newman's first runner. Interesting,
he's dropped £30. Mark Newnham as well, of course, spent a long time with Gay Waterhouse and have also had a great association with Piero as well.
He has indeed. So Lyle Hewitson's going to take the ride on him, Tom. We'll hear from Lyle in just a moment. This is what One for All has done in track work. We'll see his trial during the interview. Yeah, and he looks to have moved pretty well. You can see that is Mark Newnham in the saddle there. It's certainly not a riding boy. It's Mark himself there, and he looked to be moving well. I'm interested to see what he can do here with all that weight he's dropped off, Paul. Yeah, £30 looks good. I mean, he had a really good back end of the season as well. He was in great form. Well, the man that has been entrusted to steer the first runner for Mark Newnham is Lyle Hewitson, and Lyle surely hoping to make it 1 for 1 for the stable.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a bit of the beginner's luck and get Mark off to a great start. He's obviously a lovely horse and he has stepped up in grade now, but with the weight relief, that should be in his favour.
You know the horse quite well, of course, One for All, the galloper in question. He's an interesting horse, the fact that he seems to do most of his racing from the front. On paper, they're going to go pretty quick in this one.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. You know, to start up in this sort of field makes it a bit more difficult. He's a horse that's shown good gate speed and a lot of speed. So, look, plan A is still going to be to pop out and press on for the first half a furlong. But I think we're going to have to be wise about the situation. There's 3 or 4 other noted front runners. So, yeah, it does make it a bit more difficult. But he is a horse that's doing well.
You've done a lot of work with the horse. You've been working closely with Mark as well. Give us a little bit of an insight into the sort of man that Mark is. What's he like to deal with? And I guess given his record in Australia, there'd be a lot of hope that he will succeed here, which I'm sure he might well do.
Yes, I'm sure he will. His CV obviously speaks for itself, so do not need to harp on about that. But I've found that he's a thorough gentleman, easy to approach, and he's been a big help, you know, with getting to ask for horses and discuss tactics and whatnot. So I believe that he'll have a successful career here, of course.
And for the rest of the evening, Lyle, you've got a nice enough book of rides. You encompassed victories over all distances last season with 22 wins at Happy Valley. Outside of him, what might be the pick of the rest of your ride? You've got 18 Palms and G1 Excellent, etc.
Yeah, 18 Palms obviously also in good form and will have come on with the season under his belt. That actually also looks like a fairly competitive race with 3 or 4 others that in good form at the moment. But yeah, he would be a live wire. I think that Snow Lot just continues a good vein of form and has also Danny Shump's beat. But barring that, I think we'll be in with a good shot. And high percentage showed at Happy Valley last season too. That 12 run over 1200 was very impressive. So bouncing back to that sort of form, we'll have a chance.
That's Lyle's thoughts on his runners. Paul, what did you make of the book? He's got a busy night, does the South African?
He definitely does, doesn't he? Look, we highlighted Durham Star. I think he's a good chance. Snow a lot, so honest. I don't mind high percentage and 18 Palms as well. So I think he's got a decent first half of his rides there as well, and he comes up with probably arguably his best with One for All in the end.
Yeah, he should get that nice spin around. Not totally convinced on G1 Excellent. He's up 36 pounds in body weight, and he doesn't have a great fresh record either.
All right, that is Lyle Hewittson's rides. Some of the runners in the last though, Tom. This is last season. Reward Smile only had the 5 starts, 2 wins and 3 seconds, and Armour Eagle has trialled well leading into the race on Wednesday night.
He has trialled well. That was most recently at Shartin on the all-weather. Moved really well, I thought. He's 6 pounds better off at the weights this time round with Reward Smile, who did a great job in his first season, Paul, winning 2 of his 5 starts, and this was to cap it off with a pretty convincing win in the end.
Yeah, won nicely, didn't he? And the other 3 runs were second, so he's very, very consistent horse, Reward Smile. Just going to give a little bit of weight away to some of these speedsters underneath him.
This is his trial, Paul. He's run a second in his trial behind a Sports Legend. It carries that 135 pounds. The 132 was on his back at that last win.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Luke Curry's going to ride him. Now, Luke has ridden the horse in the past, so he does know the horse, but Zach had been riding him for his last couple of starts, although Luke did ride him for his first 2 rides. So, look, he's drawn barrier number 7. I think he'll get the race to run to suit, so I've definitely included him.
Yeah, of course, he's a late 3-year-old as well. He's Northern Hemisphere bred, so he won't turn 4 until January 1. So interesting to see what sort of path they plot with him this season on what he's done so far.
Wednesday night specialist Tom is Exponential. He's had a trial up at Chungfa. He raced pretty wide in that trial, so we'll go back to his last run, which is race 814. A rare Shartin appearance for him, and Brilliant Way has had 2 trials since joining the Pierre Rung stable.
Yeah, and he was in behind Call Me Dandy here, who seemed to be a good enough yardstick at the moment. Exponential, Luke Ferraris and Douglas White. Yeah, you mentioned the trial, Mark. Not really sure what happened on the turn there, but he got very wide and then dropped out of it. This is his sort of go, Paul. Wednesday night regular, but 9's going to make it rather tricky.
Yeah, that was my worry with him. Brilliant Way. Now, his form dropped off at the back end of last season. He has won off this rating in the past, though.
Okay, that is that to pair. Some trial form now, Paul. We're heading to Shartin and down the straight. This horse is a very fast horse, Superb Capitalist. Ran 11th last time over the 1200 metres, 2 from 3 course and distance, 1 for 1 first up.
Really found his niche at Happy Valley as well, did this horse, Superb Capitalist. And look, we know he's a very speedy horse. He does like to get his own way in front, though, and that just worries me with a bit of pace underneath him.
Yeah, he's turning to sort of be a little bit win or bust now as a Superb Capitalist. Down the track last time out, deemed unacceptable, and that run there behind Wonder Kid. Just coasted to the line there in a trial behind Kazi Farazi at Shartin.
More trial form now, Tom, and All Greek for me has had the 2 trials, and the first one, he was hard ridden up at Chungfa, but he seemed to come on from that trial onto the second one.
Well, where does he end up in the run here, All Greek to me, because he's a horse that likes to lead. When he has been able to win his sole race from 9 starts, he did lead. Led up in this recent barrier trial. They went to 110.31 on the all-weather this morning, which was a reasonable time, but he's up 53 pounds in body weight, Paul. That worries me.
Yeah, look, he only ran 7th on his debut run as well. Look, with this pace in the race, I'm just a little bit worried about him. So with that increase in body weight, that's why I left him out.
All right, a watch on All Greek to me in this one. Here is some trial form, Paul, around Lucky Gold, who ran 3rd over the 1,200 metres. Actually was racing well at the back end of last season. He's won 2 from his last 5 and a number of 4ths in there also.
Yeah, look, and he's sort of gone up to 1,400 metres. His last 2 wins have been over the 1,400 metres. He's raced up to 16, so I thought this might be a little bit sharp for him, although he will get the pace on.
Yeah, I think he's looking for the 1,400 metres as well. He's got barrier 10. He's going to have to probably go back from there. And look, he seemed to stay out okay in this recent barrier trial, but it was the distance, and he's well above his body weight at the moment as well, up 21 odd pounds.
Newcomer to the Valley, Tom, is Packing Bowl. Really good on debut. Not a whole lot of luck at his second start. He has trial well at Happy Valley. He's run 2nd in this trial behind Self Improvements.
Won at a short price on debut, 1.7, and then went to Chartered again, but drew barrier 14 with Matthew Poon, and in the end was actually beaten 14 lengths. It was an easy win when he did win, but found nothing in the straight and dropped right out of it. He has trialled a Happy Valley in the past, Paul. He's got a light weight here, which is going to make him dangerous from a good draw of barrier 3.
Yeah, he was 1.9 favourite when he got beaten, so he was quite obviously very well fancied on that occasion after that impressive win on debut. Second up, maybe you forgive there, as you say, lightweight, barrier number 3. So there's a couple of positives there. He's just going to get pressure.
It would worry me a little bit how quickly I know he had to work a little bit, but he did stop really quickly last start. That would worry me a little bit.
He finished a long way down the track, did Packing Bowl. So that's a look at some of the runners in race number 8, but you've gone one outside the square there, Paul.
Yeah, look, I've gone for a horse called Excellent Pairs on top here. I think he's going to get the race perfectly run to suit Excellent Pairs. He's drawn nicely in barrier number 2. He's going to sit 3 or 4 back on the inside. He's run 2nd off a rating of 79. He's down to a rating of 76 at the moment. Matthew Chadwick aboard. He does know the horse really well, and he has got a really good strong finish, and he loves it at Happy Valley. So he's on top. One for All, I think, will run a fantastic race for Mark Newnham, but might just come up a bit short with the hype around him. Reward Smile has to carry the weight, and Packing Bowl, just that little query after that second start. 4, 10, 1, 11.
It's Mark Newnham's only runner on Wednesday night, 1 for All. I think he can kick his season and career off here in Hong Kong with a win. So 1 for All with a good draw. Barrier number 4 likely to get a lovely run in transit. Reward Smile with the big weight should be right there as well. Packing Bowl and Armour Eagle, of course, has got that turnaround on Reward Smile of around about £6. His trial coming into this I thought was good. So 10, 1, 11 and 5.
That's a really good race. Race number 8 with the highest weighted and the lowest weighted in the race, not having too much between them. Chock full of talent, the last of the night. But speaking of last, it's almost the last part of the show, Paul, and you know what that means. Yeah,
look, I'm going to go with my best bet here in a horse called Heroic Master. We talked about him earlier on in the show here. He's going to get a nice run from barrier 1. Zach Purdon's a good bookie. Oh, obviously knows the horse well. Heroic Master. His body weight, he's up in body weight 32 pounds, but in fact, that's his winning weight, just about. So I think he lost a bit of weight towards the back end of last season when his form dropped off. So I really like the fact he's put the weight back on. And you can see him really going nice in this trial with California Deeply on the inside and the horse Freeback on the inside in the red there. Came out and won on the weekend, the Golden Scenery. So a nice trial to get him absolutely perfect, and he has run fresh in the past, so that's why I made him the best. The long shot Excellent Pairs, we just talked about him, race number 8 in the last from barrier number 2. Now he's going to get a perfect run just in behind his Excellent Pairs. He looks really well placed in this contest. I think he can win. We'll make the play earlier on in the card, race number 3 with Denfield, an impressive last start winner, the class dropper Lucky Archangel and the leader in the race, Mega Bonus, and a QQP 1, 3 and 5.
Best for me comes up in the third race, and it is Mega Bonus. Andrea Tini, he takes the ride here for Ricky Yu. Now, should have probably won first up last season, but was given a terrible ride and then came out and won second up with Zach Purton on board. So race 3, number 5, Mega Bonus. It's gone well first up in the past. And the value, Shinkansen, you'll get a double figure price about him. Keagan De Melo, Douglas White, Shadow Roll, Tongue Tie on for the first time. Ran a decent race, I thought, last start. Behind River Views, Compassion Spirit has come out of that race and placed at the weekend, so he's not the worst. And Reward Smile, One for All, packing bowl in that last race as the QQP.
And Tom giving both the new boys a big chance of winning a race on a Wednesday night. High percentage race 4, number 5, Lyle Hewitson. We heard from him. Ran a really good race at Happy Valley 2 starts ago on his trial well down the straight at Shard 10, member of the Benno Young stable. So race 4, number 5, and Gorgeous Vitality back down in class. He's going to get a great run from the inside draw. Does have to carry the 134 pounds, but he's a 2-time course and distance winner. Matthew Chadwick rides him in race number 6, and the play back in race number 4, a QQP. Lucky Gore first up without a trial. He's done that in the past. Happy Soul and a high percentage 2, 3 and 5 in a QQP. That is a look at the best bets. We need to have a look at the diary now about what is upcoming as far as racing in Hong Kong goes over the next 7 or 8 days. And we're at Happy Valley on Wednesday night with the Trackside Live team on air from 6:40 local time, 5 minutes earlier than usual with that 7:10 start. Normal start times at Shard 10 on Sunday, Trackside Live from 12:30 and then back at Happy Valley next Wednesday night for a 6:45 post time. So that's the diary. A reminder too, there is a breakdown of all the races on the website hkjc.com. Click on audio and video for a race-by-race preview. That has been Racing to Win, boys. We're underway with Shard 10. We're about to get underway, Tom, with Happy Valley.
Yeah, can't wait, Mark. It should be a good night. There'll be plenty of people down in the beer garden. Let's hope the weather plays its part, and then we're back at Shard 10 on the weekend. Paul, I've got one for you there. It's called Dream Winner. Don't tell anyone, though.
Up against We're Hero and Carroll Street, though, so you'll know he's been to the races.
1,000 metres?
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be
straight.
Excellent race, as it will be, 8 of them indeed, at Happy Valley on the A course on Wednesday night. That has been Racing to Win on behalf of both Tom and Paul from the Men in Grey. We'll see you at 6:40 on Wednesday night at Happy Valley. Bye-bye.